Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com, here with a new video series. I'll be trying to release at least twice a month for my patrons and to try to entice future patrons of what I would purchase if I were at the Pirates Plunder tier. So let me explain what my Patreon does. I've moved over to, instead of just support me for nothing, into a subscription-based Patreon that also gives a ton back to those that actually use it. So first of all, I have a Patreon. If anyone has the $4 above tier, we crack you a pack in your honor. We have a couple of other these smaller tiers, but where I really like to focus on is the $20 and above tier. I think that everyone that signs up for this gets above and beyond their value, and a lot of people saved a ton of money on the Masters, Ultimate Masters, getting Ultimate Masters at distributor price. We shipped out 100 boxes at $205 for my patrons. So everyone did take advantage that was on the Pirates Plunder tier, but there's also a lot of good deals to be had, even though we don't have the Ultimate Masters available now to patrons. So the Pirate Plunder tier, in short, is you get up to 6 products a month for $20 a month. And I'll talk about those products in a second. That is also not including sleeves and deck boxes or other card accessories. Those do not count towards your 6 per month. If you want those, you can order those to your heart's content at distributor pricing. So tons of benefits for being at the Pirate Plunder, and of course the deal gets even sweeter as you move up the tier. Pirates Plunder 2 gets 12 products a month for just an additional $5 a month. Pirate Plunders time 3 gets an additional 6 for the next 5, so 18 products per month. And once you're up into the really high tiers, you can get unlimited products per month. Many patrons have taken advantage of that. We're talking about cases upon cases of Unstable and Battlebond when those supplies were limited to the unlimited tier patrons. So if you are looking to spend quite a bit of money on Magic the Gathering, you don't have a local game store to support, or for whatever reasons you choose not to, this is a really good place to get in on the action. All right, so that's kind of giving you an overview of the patron tiers. Let's go on to what I'm going to be doing for this bi-monthly, maybe weekly series. Is the Pirate Plunders Picks is what I'm going to call this series. So I'm going to give you 10 picks of what I can get right now from my distributors that I think are great deals, and try to justify why I'd pick these up at the price points. Now, keep in mind, too, we have applied for 2 more distributors, and we'll be adding those to the list of products you can get. A lot of these aren't even exclusive. For this video, we'll go exclusive to Magic the Gathering products, but if we can plunder it, you can purchase it. So, and that means any board games, anything that traditional gaming distributors have access to is allowed towards your 6 products per month. Anyway, all right, so let's get on to my Pirate Plunder picks for December. All right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is Explorers of Ixalan. Explorers of Ixalan seems like a pretty good buy right now. It is still very available. The price point that I can get Explorers of Ixalan is currently $35. Keep in mind there will be shipping on your shipments. Usually people order their allotment, then have me ship it, and it ends up being like 20 to 30 bucks is what the full package. The more, the heavier the weight, the cheaper per pound it gets as things go up. So a lot of people do wait until they want a significant portion of products. That way they can save on shipping. So right now, the before shipping cost is $35 for Explorers of Ixalan. What I really like this is I've done the kind of legwork here. If you were to buy list this to Card Kingdom, so we're talking about just the buy list prices, you'll make slightly over the $35. I don't know why Star City Games just doesn't start breaking these down if they're desperate for the cards. But you can see there's not a lot of like high value cards. The thing is though, if you click on any of these, the buy list spread is pretty decent. So Vanquisher's Banner, $2 from Card Kingdom. Not terrible. I think that's dropped a little bit since I did this, but there is a high demand for this card. It's still going up. It still seems to be like a very popular commander card and is easy to move. So I mean, there is what, a seventh of your value back right from a Vanquisher's Banner. There are a few cards like this that have a lot of high value, but I do like the little ins and outs like Zealous Persecutions, Mortifies. Those typically are what I like to call value bulk. So they're not true bulk. True bulk is cards that you cannot move. There's no way, there's no buyers for them. You're not going to get rid of them. Cards like Zealous Persecution, Mortify typically have buy lists that will take them at a 5-10 cents a piece, and you can usually find people that actually do want these type of cards. There are even cards like this that I expect to rebound, like Necropolis Regent, that has been an expensive card in the past, or at least has gone up to the $5-6 range in the past. Even cards like the Shielded by Faith. All these are great cards with real value. Going on to the Brazen Coalition, we have Adaptive Automaton, which just gets better and better with more tribal-based decks, and is very, very common commander staple. We go down and there's Shared Animosity. Shared Animosity has actually seen modern play from time to time. Whenever a creature you control attacks, gets +1/+0 for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type. So again, the more tribal decks that are in Magic, the better this card gets. And I think this is going to be the last time it's reprinted for quite some time, as this reprinting did crush the price of the Shared Animosity. We go down to then Time Warp. Time Warp is a $12 card, and it has a buy list price of $6. From Card Kingdom. So you get $6 back no matter what. $12 you can find a better buyer. That's a third of the price of getting this on one card. And again, there's some Rancors in here. There's cards like Prismatic Lens. I know this just had to reprint in Masters Ultimate Masters. But if you look down, there's a lot of cards that tend to have, you know, some real world value. Look at this, the Merfolk Sovereign. Many of these cards could go up just because of the standard implications when the Ravnica Allegiance comes down. We have a Path to Exile even in here, a Lightning Helix. Both those are heavily played cards in Modern that should begin to go up in value, especially since both of these missed Ultimate Masters. And if you just search down these lists like Drovers, things like that have real world value. So again, I've done the legwork. If you do add up a bunch of these buy listed prices, even the things that sell for 5-10 cents, you come close or a little bit over what you can buy list this to directly to Card Kingdom. And that's not even shopping around for other buy lists. So that is my number 10 is the Explorers of Ixalan at $35. If you're just looking for a good amount of cards that have are going to definitely hit their bottom, are going to go up, this is a good product to invest in. On to my number 9. My number 9 is kind of a weird one because of the price point is so insanely low. This is the Conquering Hordes Khans of Tarkir event deck, and this is basically because of one card. Dictate of Erebos is currently going for $7. What I really like about the Dictate of Erebos is the buy list spread is razor thin. $5.50 from Card Kingdom is what you can buy list the Dictate of Erebos right now. And you can find buyers for this all day long because it is a very heavily played card. And let's look at the price trajectory here of this card. So we're in a little bit of a downturn for Magic singles. So keep that in mind. That's why I haven't been creating a lot of content for the Rogue market because we have been in a series of stagnation, I would say, ever since Guilds of Ravnica, really ever since the Magic Core 2019, we've been very stagnant. But if you actually look at the price, look how beautiful this is for Dictate of Erebos. This has had a nice trajectory since it hit its bottom clear back during Fate Reforged. So it's gone all the way from $1 to $7. So if we keep up that trajectory in a year, it's going to be like $9-10 if it doesn't get a reprint. And I think this is a good time to scoop these up. So if this was not in the Conquering Hordes, I'd say avoid this product at all costs. But the price point is $41 and you get 6 complete decks. So right there from just buy listing the cards, you're almost there. You're at 35, 32, 33, 34, 35 around there if you go the buy list route. And then you just have to make up $10 another product, which is actually quite tough, but there is cards like Banishing Lights and Spear of Heliodes, Akaza Koilos in here. Like all of these do have real world value. Tormod's Crypt. These things are pretty good in the long term if they don't get reprints. Again, the rest of these cards are very lackluster, but even these type of cards you can move at bulk rare prices like the Bloodsoaked Champion Painseer. This actually, I'm expecting this one day to start going back up in value. Khans of Tarkir was just so much supply, and Bloodsoaked Champion's had a hard time even though it does see quite a bit of play in casual and EDH. So again, it's the price point that I really like the Dictate of Erebos at $41 to get 6 of these. That doesn't seem too shabby. I believe there's a dice with every one of these as well. And then, of course, the lands that are contained in it. I mean, it's a 75 card deck. So if you can sell the entire deck without the Dictate of Erebos, even for just a couple of bucks, you've made back your money. That's one of the things that I've been able to do. Either put the Dictate of Erebos into the equation here and sell the decks for like $10 a piece. You'd be surprised that they're quite easy to sell at that price. All right, on to my number 8. My number 8, and again, I'll have all these prices in the description below if you're looking to go back at these prices. My number 8, I have to agree with Rudy here. Ooh, wow, that takes a lot to come out of my mouth. No, kidding aside, I actually like Rudy a lot. We just disagree on where we invest. I've never been a fan of sealed product the way that Rudy has. and I think that he misrepresents some of the market a lot just because he's not a player. I think he misses that huge opportunity to know, when cards are hot. And I typically like singles just because the cost of shipping singles, the cost of finding a buyer for singles is so much easier than it is for sealed product. I actually, when I get sealed product, when I invest in sealed product, I usually do break it down. Yes, I have a store. Yes, I have an outlet for getting rid of bulk. I have an outlet for, odds and ends, a lot easier than most people. We're talking about like dice and, basic lands, things like that. Those are all things that your average day Joe probably doesn't have the outlet that I do. However, like sealed product is miserable to try to find a buyer, and try to then avoid fees if you're using like the Amazon, eBay, TCG player, and it really, really cuts in compared to singles. So that's kind of our difference. So again, before I get all the Rudy fanboys just going down my throat about quit ragging on Rudy, it's playful. I like him. He likes me. We're gonna get married someday. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. This, though, I do tend to agree with Rudy. I think that Commander 2018 has something going for it because it's so unpopular. Unpopularity a lot of times does lead to the prices of these cards rebounding quicker than if this was a massively popular deck. Now, the only cards that do really hold any sort of value in the Commander 2018 is the cards that were printed in them, but there are some goodies. We have like the Treasure Nabber that's holding around $6, the Saheeli that's holding around $5. The buy lists are very dismal at this, but that's because the amount of Commander 2018 is just really, really high compared to people that want to buy it. However, these are still just these complete Commander sets are things that sell to new players as they come into the format. You'd be surprised at how many of the bad, Commander 2013? Like those decks at one point in time were very stagnant for many, many years, but then they rebounded with a vengeance just when Commander players begin to collect them. I typically see that with Commander players. They'll go back and buy. It's easier just to buy a pre-constructed deck because the value is usually there. They usually have all soul rings and command towers in the land base, and it's easy to upgrade them, and usually you'll always get your value. This is no exception. There's cards like Blasphemous Axe and Chaos Warps that are really, really staples in the Commander format. I mean, Chaos Warp and Blasphemous Axe are top 10 in red. So these will recover quite nicely. There's a lot of just exclusively printed for this. If you look back at the 2017 Commander sets, you'll see a bunch of those exclusive prints really start to rebound in about a year. Of course, you have all the Soul Rings that continue to hit and Swift Foot Boots, those type of things that tend to hold their value quite well. And a Command Tower, lots of other nice little cards. In here, you scroll down here, we have a Yoriku, the Tiger Shadow, that's $10, and I believe is stabilized out. And then like even Ponders, Signets, stuff like that. These are still, even though this is the worst of the years in recent memories, it's still not terrible. It's still better than your vast majority of sealed products that Wizards puts out. And again, I think that this is going to be something long-term that is nice to put in a box set. You can easily find buyers at this price point. Oh, the price point, by the way, is $87, and you get a set of Commanders, so that ends up being a little under $22 a piece for a Commander. A specific Commander set, and again, it's quite easy to move these at that price point or find buyers, and you'd be surprised too. You can use sealed product as trade fodder. I've done it in the past. Say, oh, I'll trade this entire deck for XYZ cards, and then people are like, oh, cool, I'll get an entire deck for this. Yeah, it's very, very easy to do so. If you haven't used that in your trading tactics before, I highly suggest it. So again, these do have some decent little cards. Yes, cards that got reprinted in this have been crushed down to under the $5 mark. I was even surprised to see where was the card that was the chase card in here, the Enchantress Presence, all the way down to what, $250. And yeah, it's really the cards that just are having their first printings in this set that are holding above the $3 price. Everything else got crushed, but still, there's some goodies in here. $4.50 here, $3.70 here. They're all fine. And I think this, what I like about this is going to slowly enter the marketplace and is going to allow for just some, what I kind of call like organic growth, organic demand for these type of cards that will eventually start to strip the supply, and then cards go up in value. So again, I'm with Rudy on this. I don't think this is nearly as bad of a product as people say. The supply is very, very high, though, because Wizards did not want a repeat of both 2017 and 2016 where they underprinted this, and it seems like they did overprint this Commander set quite a bit. But still, I think that that's not the biggest deterrent for it. All right, so on to my number 7. My number 7 is Guilds of Ravnica Guild Kits. I like the price point at $56 for a set. Now, there are some stinkers like Is It in here, but, I mean, you still do have some cards that are holding their value quite well. The main reason that these lands actually sell for quite I think they still, if you look at TCG Player, they're the most traded or the most sold card. So people are buying these at around the 50-cent mark. You can find buyers all day long, and that really, really adds to the value of these cards when you have real-world value 50-cent basic lands. Now, there again, like I said, there's a lot of stinkers in here. You get 8 of each of them, so I mean, you're looking at $8 per guild kit worth of lands. And there are a lot of stinkers in this set of this one not even having a card that is over $2, right? We have Mission Briefing and Dimir, so I guess Dimir's the big stinker. It's pretty bad too, except for the Shattering Spree. The Shattering Spree is really crashing in value from this though, but it still hits around that $5 mark. Crackling Drake, and is there a Lava Coil? There was a Lava Coil in here too. Guess not, but Crackling Drake is a card that's been going up in value. There are still some good cards here and there, but it's really the lands. Like, the lands pay for themselves basically, and then you have the lands and the chase cards pay for it, and then you have complete decks once again that will tend to recover once this set goes out of stock. And you can even keep these in their box sets, and I think that they're still better on average than the dual decks were in the past. Like, a lot of these cards do have high demand, and most of these cards are pretty good in the set. So, like I said, some nice little $4 or $5 cards. Not too shabby, and a privileged position too that's holding its value. So keep in mind that this is one that pays for itself right here with this Celestia. All right, on to my number 6. Now, number 6, this is where you have to do a little bit of math to make sure it makes worth it. This is Eldritch Moon Intro Packs. Eldritch Moon Intro Packs I can get for $51. They come with 10 of them, so 2 of each of these, and then each of these contains 2 packs. Now, that's why I like the Eldritch Moon, because it seems to be that the Eldritch Moon has the most value in the form of Bedlam Reveler. The Shadows of Innistrad's okay because it's got Rattle Chains and it's got a few other cards that are worth some money. However, Eldritch Moon tends to have the hottest card that available. Like, I can get these in Origins. I can get Dragon's Tarkir. I believe Dragons has what is it, the March of the Multitudes wannabe card, the instant speed white and X. Why can't I think of it? Something about the Waste. Secure the Waste. There we go. Secure the Waste is in that one, which also holds a pretty decent price tag. But Bedlam Reveler is starting to see a ton of play in Modern. You can see that it has a $5 price tag. The buy list for Bedlam Reveler is going to be $4.50. See, so you get $9 just of buy listing right there. So it reduces the cost all the way down to about, $40. So then if you can get that gives you 20 packs right there. The price of pack for Eldritch Moon is $2 a piece if you go the intro pack route. One thing I've been successful with breaking down these intro packs, I've been easily able to sell these intro packs for about $5 a piece, $4 for some of the worst ones, and then I just break apart like the Bedlam Reveler deck, take the Bedlam Reveler, sell the Bedlam Reveler, still get some other stuff in here that is kind of interesting. What I like about this is if there is a Shadows of Innistrad forward set, there's a lot of staples that are included in this particular set that I think will see play in that sort of format, like Incendiary Flows, possibly Galvanic Bombardments, but Weaver of Lightnings. Those type of cards I think will be staples if we get a Shadows forward. A lot of rumors going around there will be a Modern Light format that they're going to try. So for that reason, I like Eldritch Moon. Shadows of Innistrad is okay. Like I said, Origins is okay. I think Origins is actually the worst one out of it, but it's still, even if you get no value from these sets, I believe it takes down the price per pack to around $2.50, which is reasonable for sets that are out of print and are very, very hard to find. It's hard to find Eldritch Moon. It's hard to find Origins. It's hard to find Dragons of Tarkir for a decent price of booster boxes. So we're talking like 100-ish for each one of those, which already puts the price pack down to about what's similar to breaking these down. You do get some Blessed Alliance out of this too, and I believe you get a Crypt Breaker. Like, Crypt Breaker is a pretty nice little card. Yep, Crypt Breaker, $2 a piece. So you get 2 of those and a bunch of Blessed Alliances and a bunch of packs. And like I said, what I usually do with these ones, so you see no value in this werewolf deck, is I just try to sell the intro pack for about $4, $5, and then take the packs and then sell the packs. So anyway, I like the Eldritch Moons. Again, we have others available of Origins, Dragons, Shadows of Innistrad, and Eldritch Moon at that $51 price point. for the intro pack time 10 lot. All right, on to my number 5. My number 5 is the Core Set 2019 pre-release packs. Now, I really, really like these. So you get 6 packs of dice for $15, which is, fairly reasonable price per pack. But what makes these really, really good is you get a $6 average foil. So if you average the mythics and the rares together, it equals $6 is what your average foil is going to be. You can get anything from nickel bulls. The previous foil is actually going for about 75, so it's a little. I just use the foil prices. Foil prices are quite similar to the pre-release stamped ones. Sometimes they are significantly more, sometimes they're significantly less. I don't even understand why. It's just crazy sometimes how that works with the pre-release packs. But if you average these out, you get about a $6 foil from the Core Set 2019 pre-release packs. That takes the price per pack down to $1.50. $1.50. If you can get the average foil of $6, $1.50 a pack, that is a steal of a deal. I like these. They tend to sell very well if you're looking for a buyer that just wants a pre-release pack. I mean, we have people like Tulane Community College that talk about how sometimes this is just the best way to play someone else is just crack a pre-release pack and then go at it. And, he saves all his pre-release and then plays them again later on because it's, you get enough of the theme of the set to play against each other. I particularly didn't like Core 2019 sealed. I think it was one of the most awful formats ever. However, other people do enjoy it. And like I said, the prices really make sense at a $6 average foil plus 1.5 per pack. It's better than buying booster boxes for Core 2019. We never buy them. This is exactly how we restock on packs is just crack pre-release packs. There seems to be plenty of supply left for these Core 2019 pre-release packs. And yeah, I have no problem getting them still. All right, on to my number 4. Number 4 is Battlebond. Battlebond had a restocking. Currently, I can get these for $81 a booster box. And what I like about it is it looks like it's starting to stabilize off. I think we're going to have some of the other cards start to go down. However, if you look at Conspiracy 1 and 2, this is a set that does tend to recover quite well. I've actually seen a lot of these cards in their monthly gains really start to go up. Yes, cards like Brightling have been hit hard, but Doubling Season seems to be stabilized. Land Tax seems to be stabilized. Arena Rector, I think, is way undervalued for how good it is in Commander. True Dame Nemesis, that card sees a ton of legacy play. A lot of these cards are really, really good. Diabolical Intent. Again, I do see some slight going down, but I think that this is a set that will hold its value. These type of products do. Like Conspiracy 1 took forever for it to be worthwhile. Now Conspiracy 1 is like $120 a box. It's really, really tough to find. The value in it is just out of this world compared to if you could get in at there on the $75, $80 mark back in that day. Again, I like this better than standard sets. The supply is much lower. There is still a lot of Battlebond. It seems like that last restock in Battlebond was very significant. However, it's still number 4. I still think it's better than buying any standard set if you're looking for a set to hold on to, and that can be had at $81. Here we have the Battlebond expected value over at Tishy Mid at 90. And we also have it's about $50 though. So the Tishy lows is more telling. So again, let me just give you a little bit of disclaimer. I'll be talking more about this on Market Monday. Magic Singles is in a bad spot right now. I expect it to recover. I think that when you put a set like Ultimate Masters, there is a finite amount of money that can be had in the secondary and primary markets of Magic. And I think what Ultimate Masters has done is it's currently gobbled up everything. So no one's buying any cards except for Modern Masters or Ultimate Masters booster boxes and Ultimate Masters singles. And that makes sense because this is supposedly a once in a lifetime thing with reprints, really, really, really highly sought after reprints. So everyone's like trying to pick up their play sets and whatnot, and there's just no more money to go around, and that of course has caused the prices to crash across the board. Pauper, Modern, Legacy, Commander, all of these have stagnated out or gone significantly down. I'll be showing that on Market Monday tomorrow. I'm thinking at least 20% since Ultimate Masters across the board for Magic the Gathering. However, I do think that's going to be temporary. I'm liking the economic signs for what they released with the Pro Circuit, as well as the just really, really how how strong Arena is, and eventually I do think Arena will convert people over to Paper Magic, and then we'll have people that then will need to pick up paper cards, and, you know, I think Arena is going to introduce a ton of people to Commander, for example, and it's miserable to play it on MTGO or Arena. They're going to actually find these online players are going to start gravitating to the local game store. I'm willing to make that bet. Again, we'll talk more about it on the Market Monday, so this is why it's so telling between mid, and usually it's not that significant between mid and low. I mean, that's a big drop from 90 to 50, like half the value. Usually it's not quite 50% of the value that gets ripped out when you compare low and mid. But mid prices still Battlebond's around $90, and that's pretty good. A good price point to get into. All right, the next one, number 3, is what we call the Kaladesh 120 booster sleeve lot. So what a booster sleeve is those individually packed boosters that you'll see at Walmart. So the ones that hang on the shelves. So there's one pack in each one of these sleeves, so it's 120 booster packs for $270. I like that price point for Kaladesh. These are confirmed to have masterpieces in them. We opened up one on camera for my last Crack-A-Pack episode, so these do have masterpieces in them. And if you look over at eBay, it's very, very tough to find Kaladesh. My distributors are long gone with Kaladesh and Aether Revolt. You see a bunch for 130, 120, 100, around there. I would say that a fair price for Kaladesh right now would be between 100 and 115 is where you'd want to be buying booster boxes. Well, the Kaladesh sleeve is much better. If these are broken down, they're easy to ship. I shipped an entire 4 of these, so 480 packs. I believe it fit in 2 large flat rate packs to Hawaii, so it was like $38 shipping for 480 booster packs. And that's a great deal if you can convince me to break them down for you for that price, then it's definitely worthwhile. So you can avoid going for the sealed booster boxes. I know that loose packs are sometimes frowned upon because they could be quote-unquote search. But if you're looking for these for the masterpieces or whatnot, the Kaladesh booster sleeves are the right way to go. Of course, you can keep them in their sleeves, but shipping is miserable at that point because they're so bulky. However, that is an option. If you do live close to me, it won't be that expensive. So those are had, again, 120 boosters, which is almost the equivalent of 3 booster boxes for $270. So price per pack, what does that take us down to? If I were looking at price per pack of 270 divided by 120, we are looking at $2.25 per pack. Right now on eBay, if we'll say 115 divided by 36, that's $3.19 per pack. So that's a buck cheaper per pack if you go the Kaladesh booster sleeve lot route. So that's my number 3. Kaladesh is drawing up. This set was so overprinted. There's so many masterpieces out there. Whatever, people are still digging for those masterpieces. Sometimes I let my own feelings towards foils and chase cards kind of convolute the actual evidence. Evidence is people still like Kaladesh. They still buy Kaladesh. They still want Kaladesh. And there you have it. All right, so my number 2, what can beat that? Well, my number 2 is the Masters 25. So Masters 25 I like because it looks like it stabilized out. And again, I think I like this because I like the price point. Currently, they're on sale for $128, which is close to the original price that Masters 25 had at its first initial release. Usually after that, then distributors up their price. It's been about $135 to $140 for me for a long time. It is on sale for this Christmas sale for $128. I like the price point. I like Masters 25 long term. It's got cards like Azusa, Imperial Recruiter, Chalice, Ensnaring Bridge, Jace. All of the mythics are really, really good. Got some decent little rares in here like the Rashad Important Azusa and Thalia's. I do expect these cards to start to recover. I think Blood Moon, Thalia, Port, Azusa, Jace, Ensnaring Bridge, Chalice, those are all on the same caliber as the Masters or Ultimate Masters. Of course, you don't get a box topper with this, but I mean, I think that this is what has going for the Masters 25. I don't think we'll see a price of $128 for these ever again. I think we found the bottom, and it's I've seen other vendors have these on for sale, but it seems like they're all starting to tick back up. I think you're looking at like 140, 150 from most vendors of what you'll get the Masters 25. So you can save, $20-$30 by going this route for the Masters 25. Again, it wasn't a horrible set. It was just the price point at MSRP was terrible. The price point $128, which puts it at, you get 24 packs equals So you get these at about roughly $5.35 a pack. That's not terrible for a pack that can hold a Jace the Mind Sculptor in it. All right, so what could beat that price? What is my number one pick for this month? It was my number one pick last month. It will probably be my number one pick until the supply is completely obliterated or this set rotates out. This is Rivals of Ixalan pre-release kits. Rivals of Ixalan pre-release kits have a very similar, it's slightly lower, it's about $5.75 is your average price for the pre-release foil. So this, again, brings down the price per pack to $1.5. But what I really like about this is you can come over here to the value of the Rivals of Ixalan. Yeah, Rivals of Ixalan. I said it correctly. Why was I correcting myself there? Where is it? Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan. You see a $44. It is declining like crazy. I expect a resurgence of this when the next set comes out, because there's a lot of cards in Rivals of Ixalan that I think go well with either Gruul, go well with Orzhov, that are going to be released. It's going to hopefully shake up Standard. Hopefully Teferi just doesn't dominate, and we have to, if it does, I just hope they ban Teferi. Highly doubt they will, but it's looking pretty bad for Teferi.deck. However, if we go back over to mid, it gives us a better look. I mean, it is declining. It is declining, but I'm thinking we're going to see a resurgence as well with Ravnica Legions. So, of course, Ixalan would be better. There aren't any Ixalan pre-release packs. Rivals is still better than if we look at the core. Core is around 63, Rivals is 84. Again, it just puts that price pack really low, and the average pre-release foil is quite decent. I think I actually like the set of Rivals better than Core. Yes, Core has a lot of cards that I think are going to rebound better long term, but Rivals still has like the Jadelight Rangers. It still has, let's go back over to the Rivals. You got like Jadelight Rangers, like Journey to Eternity, Direfleet Daredevil, Galta, Tali, Wayward Swordtooth. These are all cards that are going to be worth money for long term. Hadamas Climbs, a card that's been spiking in value. Radiant Destiny, same thing. There are some goodies. There are definitely some goodies in the set. And so that's my number one pick. Just a $15 for a pre-release pack that you get a dice that has value. You get, packs and a $6 foil. It's better than going the booster box route, just be picking up these pre-release kits. Pre-release kits do tend to sell well later down the line. Like, you can't find these for cheap from any of the sets that are older than Ixalan. Like, you can't go and find Aether Volt pre-release packs or Kaladesh pre-release packs, or even go even further, you can't even find like Dragon's Maze pre-release packs for decent. These are things that do really tend to go up in value quicker than booster boxes, and that's why it's my number one and outshines the rest of these. So let's just quickly go through these again. At the price points, Explorers of Ixalan you can get at $35. The Khans of Tarkir event deck, mainly for the Dictate of Ereboses, you can get at $41. The Commander 2018 you can get $87 for a set. The Guilds of Ravnica guild kits for a set is $56. The Eldritch Moon intro packs you can get at $51. The Core 2019 pre-release packs at $15. The Battlebond at $81. And the Kaladesh sleeve at $270. The Kaladesh booster sleeve, 120 packs. Masters 25 at the $128, and Rivals of Ixalan at $15. Now, the good news, too, is my purchasing power will get a lot better as we get more patrons. Currently, we're kind of a mid-level with our distributors, so our purchasing power is decent, but it's not as good as it could be. There are bigger discounts that are available once you get to the higher, $100,000 per year type levels and stuff like that. We're also trying to add on other distributors, and that way it can be cross-competitive between the two. So, I mean, this is how I've decided to go about it. Running local game store has been so cutthroat. You have to compete, especially in my area. I'm in a rural area, so people are naturally used to buying online, so it's hard for me to compete with that. So, I can't beat them, join them. This is why we go the patron route. Is, it doesn't cost me just to, as long as you cover the shipping, the fees, the more money you spend into this, the better purchasing power it gives me. Of course, I do have to limit these due to patron level for incentive to sign up for the higher patron tier, as well as there is a cost of my labor for kind of shipping these off. So you can read testimonials. I'm sure you can reach out to any of my patrons to know that I'm pretty good at getting everything on time and packaged correctly. Zach is a master packer. Wow, that sounded sounded bad. But he does a great job of packaging things off and making sure they get to their destination. So far, I don't think I've had any complaints about anything. Sometimes prices change out from under me, and I have to cancel orders just because prices went up. But that's the exception, not the norm. I think everyone's been pretty happy. If you're a patron, definitely comment in the comment section below. And I'll continue to do these videos for everyone because I think people want to know my advice of what I would buy. Typically these are the type of things I'm all about. Rivals of Ixalan pre-release kits and core pre-release kits, but some of these other cards, these hidden gems, these diamonds in the rough type thing, I think are great if you want to put in the time to break down these particular things, or even find buyers for them sealed without even breaking them down. They look pretty good. So you don't own a local game store, you can be a part of one, be a part of the prices. I don't care. Start your own groups. I know I have a couple patrons. They kind of do their own little backpack shop. You meet up at one gentleman doesn't have a local game store, and so he's kind of using my service to be the group, be able to provide for the group, and probably make a little profit at that point. So I don't care what you do with them. It's not my job to decide who does what. I sell you sealed product at distributor price, and it helps me out, helps keep the store going, helps the channel going. We're at the point where we can almost fund the store just through the patrons. So that's awesome. So it's gonna be able to definitely free up some time, free up some stress, and let us focus on creating content. So it's been kind of a long video. I'll try to be more concise in the next one for the Pirate Plunder picks. Again, we'll try to do this either monthly or bi-monthly, as prices don't change that too often. But if there ever was a deal, we'll try to put it on here. And yeah, see you on the Patreon. Thanks for watching.